Back again with another episode of Tough Dialogue. This is number 8. We more than halfway through the year. We got 4 months left to take advantage of the opportunities, really change our lives. Take that chance, put in that extra work, do all these things. This year done flew by. Like, it don't even seem like we in freaking August, and we like, I don't even know what to say. Like, still got, more time to put in the work, but it's just crazy. This been a real roller coaster, up and down years as far as just music, balancing life stuff in general. But to go straight into it, I was at work the other day. Well, actually, more than one occasion, actually, not just the other day. But a lot of times I come into work and it be security guards that, at the door. For those that, I'm not gonna say my job description, but it be officers at the gate, at the door, and every time I walk in, they be like, if it's Monday, they be like, making it through a Monday, and then we get to Tuesday, just trying to get to Friday, then we get to Wednesday. We halfway through the week trying to make it to Friday. And Thursday's like, trying to make it to Friday. And you get the point. And I kind of always joke with them and kind of just say it back. But in my brain, in my heart, I'm just like, why people be waiting on Friday? Like, what's so special about Friday? Like, I understand, like, y'all saying, like, I get what they saying, it's the weekend. But to that same testament, it's like, bro, y'all waiting till Friday when the next day ain't promised anyway, but y'all waiting till Friday when y'all could be making change or doing something in y'all life that day. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's for them to relax, or even if it's for them to go take a trip, something, have fun or something, and they just being like, trying to get to Friday, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get to Friday to do it. Like, that's just something that just kind of rubbed me wrong. And every time they say, I don't never rebuttal on it, because they old enough to be my grandparents. But like, I kind of just speak in passing. I don't be wanting to have no full-blown conversation. But sometimes I legit do be wondering, like, why the heck do they just be waiting till Friday? Even like the janitor lady that come by, and she always be like, it's on Thursdays, she tell me, she be like, it's Friday Eve. Like everybody's putting so much stock on getting to Friday. And I think it's bigger than just getting to Friday. It's really like a mindset thing. What I'm noticing is, like, we put off things, procrastination. I don't know if people glorify certain days more than others, but you put too much stock in the weekend. And my mindset is, what can I do on Friday that I can't do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday? You know what I'm saying? The same opportunities to get better is on these other days. What's so special about Friday? And that's just how my brain is wired. And that just kind of really spoke to me on a deeper level, because they, I don't say, like, they old and they kind of been trained to that mindset, or maybe they working their job and they hate it. But that just be more like fuel for me to put in work to get out of that job. But it's just like, man, imagine if I wasted 6 days of the week. Imagine, like, that's crazy. Like, number one, no day is promised. But imagine you got 7 days a week, 24 hours in a day, and you just wasting all your time feeling sorry for yourself Monday through Saturday and Sunday, waiting to get to the weekend to then do nothing. Because that's basically what they saying anyway. Like, wait to get to Friday to do nothing, And it's really a deeper meaning behind all that than just trying to get to the weekends. Like, I do get it. Sometimes it's good about waking up, going to sleep Friday, waking up on that Saturday. But it's like, that ain't really the life that I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use every ounce of what God gave me to use or utilize. And so, yeah, I don't put days on a pedestal. And if you're putting days on a pedestal, it's a problem. Now, the only day that you should put on the pedestal, and I'm working on this, is a Sabbath. That right there. And it's ironic, that kind of leads into my next point, actually. But that's the only day that should kind of be put on a pedestal. It's like, it's mandatory. And it's, as much as I hate to admit it, you can overwork yourself. And the more work that you put in is not a direct correlation to the outcome. Contrary to popular belief. Because I know I probably got other artist friends. I got probably athlete friends. Anybody that working towards something. It's like they always say you get out what you put in. That is true. You do get out what you put in. But what you put in matters. So, and if you have put in, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the reason I say that is because, and like I said, this is kind of segue to my next point. But if you put working first, like if you're an athlete and you're only putting in physical work, you're going to reap the benefits. You're going to see physical evidence of you putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? But if you spiritually lacking, you're going to see that too. And so, yes, you do get out what you put in. And I think too much times we put in too much to the career. And like I said, I know I got some people that probably disagree with this, but the more work that you put in, the harder you work towards something, is not a direct correlation to your success. It is not a direct correlation to the outcome. Argue with your mama. And that's just 100% facts of it. And I realized that because I went from, and this is on a small sample size, but like I remember like last year, or maybe 2 years ago, all the years up leading up to last year that I had been doing music, it was so focused on posting X amount of times per day. And did I see growth? Obviously. Like I said, if you're a bodybuilder and you lift weights every day, you're going to see the gains. So yes, of course, I saw some, the benefits that I reaped. But when we talk about life in general, that those things could be argued. But of course, I saw success. But it's like, at the end of the day, is it for vanity? Like, is it all in vain? The reason I'm getting it? Like, and so it just kind of like, it made me put things in perspective. Like, whether I'm posting 20 times a day or I'm posting, I don't even want to say 2 times a day, but really, if I'm posting 10 times a day versus I'm posting 2 times a day, if I'm not feeding myself spiritually, if I'm not putting God first and being obedient to what he want me to do, then it don't matter if I post 100 times a day. It's not going to work. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. You're going to get something out of it. Trust me, you post 100 times a day, something going to come out of it, but it might not be what you think going to come out of it. And so, and that's kind of a point that I'm trying to hardwire into my brain to understand, is that my obedience is way more important than my craft. Like, my obedience is way more important than the actual work that I'm putting in, which I guess obedience could be a part of the work. But like, what I'm trying to say is my obedience to God is more important than my discipline to my career, if that makes sense. Like, you got to be disciplined in all principles, all areas of your life. Faith, career, relationships, business, all of that. Because if you don't, one area will be lacking. And for me, shoot, I ain't gonna cap. I be putting work, like I'm always clocked in. I'm always clocked in. Like, to the point, I know it's unhealthy. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. I know it's unhealthy to be clocked in the amount of clocking in that I'm clocked in. But it's like, it's hard for me to, it's just my personality. Like, when I get my mind made on chasing something, it's hard for me to like not go all the way. Like, I can't, like, I put all attention to it. And so honestly, it's kind of easy to know if I want something bad enough or not, because it really won't be no question. And it's almost like I'm addicted to it. Like I gotta, like I'm fiending for the, like I gotta lock in. Like I gotta put in more work. It's all I can think about. It's all I want to focus on. And so in a way, it's easy to identify what I care about. But at the same time, I know what I'm putting on that pedestal ain't the best thing. And through that, I realized, thank God I ain't had to really go through this personally, but like you will get humbled. Like God will humble you fast. Like if you start to idolize anything or put stuff above him, it will get taken away. And I've had, I don't want to tell nobody, I don't want to tell nobody business, but like I've had family members that have gone through situations where they doing something that requires them to be active, or it's a physically demanding job, and then they have injuries that they can't move. That'll sit you down quick. Now, me being an artist, I hope it don't ever come to this, but like somebody asked me something like, if God was to take away my voice or my ability to sing, what would I do? And I was just kind of like, huh? Like, I don't feel like I'm a tie. Like, I don't feel like what I do is becoming who I am. But actions speak louder than words. And when I start to just look at the little things that I do and where my time goes, it's easy to see how that work can creep into that number one spot on the priority list, and God can kind of just fall to number two. And as soon as that happens, you will be humbled. And like I said, thank God, and hopefully I don't have to go through no traumatizing experience to be humbled. I'm trying to learn my lesson. But that is a real thing. And that is a, speaking of that, like what you are or what you do become who you are. Like I feel like that's a identity crisis too with anybody that's working towards a goal or chasing a entertainment type career, is that it's hard to flip the switch because it's almost like a nonstop game. Even like I was talking to somebody, and it's like, even like me now as an artist, I ain't the biggest artist in the world, but I mean, it's definitely a part of my life to this point, or it is my life at this point. And like I can be around family members that I've never been artists around until, whenever I started. And now it's like, I'm just the artist. Like I'm not Austin who I was back then, the kid. It's like now I'm the artist. So it's like now it's like you want me to perform, or now it's like you want me to do something. Like we go to a family reunion or a birthday party or something, and it's jokes. I'm sure it's jokes, but it's like when I'm in those type of moments, I'm clocked out, or I try to be clocked out. But like when you have those constant reminders, like, hey, sing something, hey, when you gonna perform? It's like I get it. They just, family members or whatever, friends, they out, they gotta make the joke. I get it. But in the times that I'm trying to clock out and go back to human, everybody is like, nope, artist. And so at that point, over time, you become that. And I'm sure I got some athlete friends that understand that. Like, when you playing the game, it's about the game. But when you're not playing the game, you don't want to talk about the game. You don't want to talk about the game. Like, that's why I hate to even talk about sports to my friends that's in the NFL. It's because it's like, I already know, like, you probably don't feel like talking about football. Like, even though I love football, I could talk about it all day, but I understand, like, this is your job, this is your profession. You don't want to do that all your life, because you will start to then adapt that into becoming like your identity. And so I think that's a big thing, man. Gotta learn to clock out. But yeah. What I was about to say. Another thing, and this kind of, I don't want to be too long with this episode, but I was on the phone the other day, and it's crazy. I'm always talking to somebody. All my stories root for conversation, but I was telling somebody like I feel like my testimonies or my like life stories or whatever don't be as crazy as like some of the stories I be hearing. Like one thing I realized, like you have to tell your story because you don't like to you. It may just be a regular go to the grocery store, go home type of story, but you don't know how it affects somebody else. And I was basically saying like I don't have no traumatizing. Knock on wood, experience that I can just run to as a testimony. Like I did X, Y, Z, and now I just flipped it all around. Like I can't think of anything too crazy as far as like my career goes, as far as like music. Now I've been in like some car accidents that could have gone left on a bad day, but like I'm speaking as far as like what people kind of know me for now, like my career. I don't have no crazy testimony on how I got into music, like I was homeless or I moved here, nothing crazy like that. But I do have certain things about my story that make it unique. But to me, they just may be regular. But to somebody else, it may be the world to them. And so if I try to compare or fabricate the story or try to make my story sound interesting to somebody else's story, it won't hit the same because number one, it won't be authentic. Number two, it's just like you're discrediting what you have been through. We don't all have to go through the craziest things. And for those who haven't, fortunate, I am by no means asking for nothing traumatic to happen. I promise, like, I am not asking for nothing bad to happen. Lord, this ain't not me asking. I'm just saying, like, we kind of downplay our own stories when I think there is some kind of healing, some kind of testimony, something that can be taken out of all our stories because we was all gifted with something. Now, whether we walk into that, that's up to us, but we all gifted a story or a gift or a talent or something to add to this world. And so that's kind of my ending note for this episode is tell your story. It ain't got to be, whether you feel it's dramatic or not as dramatic as the next person's story, that don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Tell your story how it's meant to be told. Don't leave no steps out because you think it's lame, or don't leave no details out because you think nobody want to hear about that. No, like, it's somebody that's going through something similar to what you're going through, and your authentic story can help somebody. So yeah, don't discredit your own story. We done all been through something that not only we grew from, but somebody else can go from. So that's that. And yeah, this is episode 8, Tough Dialogue, short and sweet. Yeah, we almost at the end of the year.